Hi everybody. So today I will be talking about my experience with Ocrevus, more so my experience with the infusion. Now don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of the medicine overall. So there's nothing negative about the medicine. It's more so just my experience with yesterday's infusion. So since I have been diagnosed with MS for, oh gosh, like 8 years, I think it is. I've been doing different medicines, and this one seems to have been the most effective. Now, when I say that, I mean that due to my last MRI last summer, there was no new lesions. So that's a huge thing. With other medications that I've taken, I have always found new lesions. So this was a big plus. Yes, I do have relapses, not as long as I usually do, and I do have symptoms of MS, but after speaking with my neurologist, it's still a positive thing, and I'm still continuing with the medicine. Now, when I say, like, the reason why I'm talking about my infusion, it was not the best experience, I will tell you that. Um, it, you'll learn about it. But yesterday in the infusion in August, every 6 months you got to take it. So that's another good thing about this. I'm not the best at taking my medicine every day, so only having to take it twice a year, perfect. So just a few warnings: if this is your first time getting Ocrevus, or if you even have experience with it, you'll understand. So just a warning that you will be given some medicine before. So you'll get pain meds and you'll get Benadryl. I think it's another one, but I can't think of it. But the pain meds like Tylenol or something, and they'll give you in pills. Now the Benadryl, they will give you that through your IV. And that is a big shock, I'll say. Like, when they give it to you, it hits quick, where you'll feel dizzy and sleepy. And yesterday I had to just hold my head. I'm like, okay, am I seeing this stuff right? Am I seeing this? I even wanted to go to sleep before they even put the actual Ocrevus in my IV. So it will hit you out of nowhere. So just warning them that it's not bad. They give you this medicine so that when they actually give you the Ocrevus, that there is no reaction to it, that you don't feel any pain or any negative thing during that infusion. So during that time, it's usually like 5 or 6 hours. Now, when you get your first infusion, they split it up 2 times. So it would not be that long. It's probably the most 3 hours, I think. And that includes an hour observation after it. So where the nurses will look at you, like give you like check your vitals for that next hour to make sure that you have no negative reaction to that medicine, the way you can keep going. But after you get when you start getting the full infusion, it'll be 5 to 6 hours. Now, yesterday just felt like a very long day. I had a morning one, 8 o'clock, and I didn't leave till like almost 3 o'clock. So yeah, it was a fun day for me. This one was a long day because my blood pressure was very high. I think it was like 180 over something. And so that first hour, 3 different nurses had to come and check my blood pressure to help lower it. So during that time, I'm praying, drinking a lot of water, trying to take deep breaths, anything that I can, just so it go down. And I'm like, I was scared to the point where I thought they was gonna have me go home. And I'm like, I had to schedule another infusion, and like I felt like it was just gonna mess everything up. Luckily, it did work, that I was able to lower my blood pressure. It had to be like around 9 o'clock, so that whole hour basically I was freaking out. And so still today I don't, well, it's only the next day, but last night I was over trying to figure out what was the cause of it. Like, was I stressing? Was I nervous? I'm still not sure, but you have to make sure that you check your blood pressure. Make sure that there's no signs that you might think of a high blood pressure, because that will affect it. Like, they can't give you the Ocrevus medicine until your blood pressure is at a good rate, I'll say. During that time, you will get bored. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if where you get your infusion at, there's a hospital or a clinic, if they'll have like personal TVs for you. I know in the hospital that I went to, they have personal televisions that you can watch just by yourself. There will be other patients in this large room with the nurses, but everybody will have their own personal television if you want. So that bring card games, bring your laptop, iPad, tablet, something that'll grab your attention during this time. Like I said, it's 5 to 6 hours. You will get bored. You can go to sleep, and you also can bring somebody with you. So like they can be there with you in the same room, especially even during this COVID experience. Like you can still have somebody in the hospital with you. So yesterday I did not, and I only brought my phone and AirPods. That was not a good decision because I was bored. Even listening to music and watching videos, I was bored. I did not use the television because I don't know why, honestly. And me going to sleep was not possible. I tried to many times, but it just felt like too loud. And I felt like my nurse was staring at me because I was right across from his desk. So I'm like, I just did not feel comfortable going to sleep for some reason. But so that's that. Now, the real reason as to why I'm making this video is because, like I said, the experience with this, and the main negative experience was afterwards. Now, when you get the infusion, like I said, you have to be there an extra hour so the nurses can observe you. So that makes sure you have no negative, like any effects or infections to the medicine. So even afterwards, like make sure that you have no rashes or any kind of, like I said, reaction to it. So they will be taking your vitals and checking on you throughout this whole hour. So for the last 2 times I've went, yesterday was my 4th time. So the one in August of last year, 2021, and yesterday, February 24th, the nurses that I've had, I guess they didn't read my notes at all. Like I said, you're supposed to stay for the hour. The doctors put that on your notes. So your neurologist will have that when you schedule that appointment. Every single time about the Ocrevus, you have to stay an extra hour. And it's also on the Ocrevus website. It's on Google when you search it. I will have the link to the Ocrevus website in the descriptions, but they have to watch it. Anyway, when he was given like the cleansing pack to my IV, I think that's what it's called. When he gave that, I'm like, okay, does my hour start now then, since I'm basically done with the Ocrevus and you were putting this in? He said that they never had anybody stay for Ocrevus. Now, that's a lie. Because since I've started Ocrevus, I've been going to the same location, the same room, and they've had me stay for the first couple times. So for him to say that, I'm like, well, my doctor told me. I'm like, it should be in my notes. He left. Now, I never got any vitals checked during this hour. He did not look at his laptop. Like I said, I was right across from his desk. He never did. And in a way, I feel like he just thought I wanted to chill in this hospital. Like, nobody wants to just stay in the hospital for an extra hour if they don't have to. But I know that I had to. Like last time in August when I did, the nurse just told me to go. And I left because I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going crazy. But when I was downstairs, I started messaging my doctor. And I'm like, was I supposed to stay an extra hour? And she said, I later got a response saying that I was, and he should have looked at my notes, basically. So I knew that my next one, which was yesterday, that I had to make sure that they did. So when he said that no one ever did, I'm like, yeah, they do. I'm like, y'all probably just don't do it. So I told him to look at my notes. Yeah, so I'm standing there. He told me 2:30. I'm like, okay, so 2:30. Now, if you know me, I like the exact time. So if you don't do it at 2:30, I'm like, okay, what's going on? That hour is up now. He didn't come to check on me until 2:40, well, almost 3 o'clock. It was like 2:46 or something. So he comes to me. Now, this is what he tried. He said, so are you ready to leave? And I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking, okay, you make it seem like I just wanted to relax. This seat is not comfortable. I'm like, I was hot. This is not, who wants to stay in a hospital for another hour? So I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And he took the IV out and he was like, I'll see you in 6 months. Now, y'all, I tried, like, even as I was writing notes for this video, I'm like, I need to stay calm because I'm like, he didn't know. He didn't try to look either, but I guess he didn't think that I'll say anything. So I made this video to make sure that y'all, when y'all get it, that y'all do stay an extra hour. This is meant to, even if they tell you no, they don't, yes, you do. You're supposed to stay that extra hour. Do not let them straight up have you outside, because God forbid anything happens, it will be their fault because you didn't stay. You left. You thought you could leave. No. I didn't have any reactions or anything, and I'm not sure if anybody else has. But you don't want that. You don't want to go home or just leave the building and something happens because of reaction to this medicine. But like I said, though, I like Ocrevus. I think it's a positive medicine, honestly, because like I said, my MRI, and then only taking it twice a year, which I'm technically not taking, the doctors or the nurses are giving me. So I don't have to worry about, oh, I forgot to take it last night. I forgot to take it in the morning, because I'm not the best with that. So that really helped. Now, when I say about the symptoms of MS that I still have, the relapses, it's nowhere near as long as it usually is before I start taking Ocrevus. Like, yeah, I'll still get numbness, I'll still get headaches, or like my balance will mess up, or like relapses, but it has not been as long as it was before. And I'm like, it's normal. If my doctor said that's okay, it's okay. Also, I think it's the craziest thing, because okay, you would think, and apparently I'm not the only one, that before that 6 months is up, you would start thinking, oh, Ocrevus is wearing off because I'm getting these symptoms even more. No, that is your mind playing with you, apparently. A lot of people have said that too. So I'm like, I feel like I'm not alone, because I've really, the last couple months, I'm like, oh, I'm getting these relapses. I'm feeling all these symptoms so much. I'm like, the Ocrevus is wearing off. That's how I know it's almost time. No, she told me that the Ocrevus lasts longer than we supposed to take it. That's just our mind. Like, okay, our mind does give you these symptoms. Like, I'm still learning about MS. I'm telling you, I'll still search stuff for MS even after 8 years of having it. I'm still learning. So to know, I'm like, that's why it's in neurology, your brain tells you every single time when, like, that your body is numb, that you're back. Like, it's crazy, I swear. But I just hope that you don't have that same experience that I had. I hope that it's just positive, that you're able to have that extra hour. You don't have to worry about your blood pressure. 1 second, Pooh. I'm sorry. That it's just a positive experience, that you have no reaction, that you're able to go home feeling good, that you can keep taking this Ocrevus. And I'm like, it's a good medicine, honestly. So I hope this has helped you. I hope that you don't get nervous or anything or scared about this. It's not trying to scare you at all. Like, this is a positive video just about the rant from my experience. So please don't feel like, oh, I shouldn't take it because it is. No. Like I said, it's basically my experience with the nurses. And then, of course, with the Benadryl. But, I mean, you'll see. I swear. Like, when I tell y'all I was dizzy, I was holding my face, and I'm like, I could have sworn I saw my nurse, and I'm like, is he really moving? Is he really coming this way? And I feel like it was even worse because they didn't even ask for that medicine from the pharmacy until after they gave me this, and the pharmacy was going real slow, so it took longer. And like I said, I was going to sleep, and I'm like, I feel like I had to keep waking up. I'm like, oh my gosh, what if he come over here and he got to put this medicine in me? I want to see when he does that. That way I know how much is in the packet or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. Follow my link to my Instagram and have a good day. Bye.